everyone, John Ponick from the Mojave Valley Daily News. This is the Huddle. Welcome into the Huddle. Sponsored by Anderson Ford. And speaking of Anderson Ford, boom! Matt Curtis, how you doing, brother?
Good, buddy. How you been?
Good. Did you finally get some sleep?
A little bit, man. It's been a couple weeks since I've been in here to see you.
If you didn't know, Anderson Ford did a million things during the holiday season. They're always doing stuff for local charities. Last month they did all this stuff for the firefighters' toy drive. So all the way through Christmas. You know, we had our guy Chris down there shooting what you guys did at the field house.
Yeah, the
Holy
annual toy
cow,
drive.
that was ridiculous how many toys you gave out there.
886 cars came through with multiple kids per car, and gave away a total of $42,000 in toys.
Ridiculous.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my car get delivered to the house yet. Is that still on its way?
It still hasn't come in yet, but
Okay.
they're making me a bow big enough.
Oh, okay. Well,
You know.
ooh, it must be a truck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, we appreciate what you guys do for the community. Obviously, we appreciate you sponsoring this, but what you do for the community over the last 6 months, all the different events that you've had, and all the money that you raised for everybody, it's been awesome. So
It's our pleasure, man. We enjoy it.
Speaking on behalf of the entire community, we thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's check out the games for this week. Like I said, we're going to go through a few games, and then at the end we'll rapid fire a few that we think are either inconsequential or just going to be complete blowouts.
Yep.
But let's start off with, this should be a good one, Philadelphia Eagles against Washington football team. We thought it was going to be a good one until we saw what Washington did against Dallas last week. So we're not sure what's going on with Heineke and the rest of the Washington football team. But Eagles, Jalen Hurts, seems like he's got it together. They beat up on the Giants, but a lot of people have beat up on the Giants this week. So they beat the Giants 34-10 last week, keeping their playoff hopes alive. They look like they're in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, Hurt seems to have hit a little bit of a stride finally. So he looks like he's comfortable back there, getting some support. So defense is stepping up a little bit more and creating a little bit of a wall for some of these teams, and able to get them off the field and get the offense back on the field. So, at Washington, it was a complete debacle.
Oh, it was ugly. And if they can't stop that Washington or the Dallas running attack, they are not going to be able to stop Philly's running attack. Philly has averaged almost 185 yards a game rushing over the last few games. And that takes a lot of pressure off of a quarterback like Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty sharp. What do you think? It's the line is 4. In my opinion, I think the Eagles beat them by a lot more than that.
Yeah, I'd say Eagles by 7.
All right, I got Eagles as well. All right, then we got the Panthers at the Saints. The Saints lost 20-3 to Miami last week, and I understand Miami's playing a lot better, but the Saints just seem like they have fallen completely off the map.
They can't put anything together.
Yeah.
Every week they got a different quarterback, and it's almost like they're playing right now in panic mode rather than putting a game plan together and going in and doing their thing. It's kind of like they get the game time and they go into panic mode, and they're just not putting anything together that's positive.
Yeah, and I think when you look back on the Saints over the past decade, you've always had Drew Brees there, and so he's kind of made up for, if there was a flaw in the game plan, he's made up for it. He's kind of like Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre or John Elway or whatever, or Montana. When we have a problem, we put it in our quarterback's hands and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Now I think they're kind of getting exposed for not being good game managers or good game plan people.
Yeah.
And it's exactly like that. If you look at the Saints games, it seems like they just kind of, all right, well, they're stopping that, so maybe we should try this. It just
Agree. I mean, I think they put a little bit too much on Hill. Hill's kind of that all-around player. They've been able to use him as a slot receiver, quarterback, some running back. I mean, he is an all-around great athlete, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the weight of the team carried on his shoulders and put up victories.
It's like they're looking at Taysom Hill and saying, you are this very talented, multi-dimensional player, so you can for sure play quarterback because you can throw the ball.
Yeah.
But I think that what a lot of people don't understand is that you have to be intelligent and understand what the defense is doing as well, and the defense are just taking them right out of the game.
Yeah.
So you can have all the talent in the world, it's just not happening there.
Yeah.
The Saints are 6.5-point favorites over the Panthers.
Yeah. Well, That's not saying a whole lot. I mean, the Panthers haven't been able to really produce anything themselves, so this is one of those games that I don't see there being a whole lot of interest in this game. Neither team's really playing for anything. It's you've got Cam Newton who's come back to the team, but hasn't really come back to the team.
I'm back. Well, he came back for one run.
One run in the first week, but I mean, it's just. You've got two teams that are seriously, in my opinion, playing out of desperation. They're just trying to make something happen, trying to light some kind of spark, and neither one of them are really doing anything. So this could be a 50-50 toss-up on this one.
Yeah.
I don't see either team that's going to be a standout to win. How the Saints are favored by 6.5, I don't know.
I'm not sure the Saints should even be favored. I'm gonna take the Saints, but I think it's a 1 or 2 point game. I think it's a closely battled one all the way down to the
All
end.
right, just for sake of argument, then I'll take the Panthers.
All right.
Just so next week we can say I told you so.
All right.
I'll take the Panthers on this one just because I think that the Saints defense struggles with a quarterback who's a little bit elusive, and Cam is still able to run. So I'll put my money on Cam, and I'll say that he's probably going to be a little bit more mobile this week and be able to put up some yardage against a beaten and battered Saints defense.
And I mean, he should have fresh legs, so he's been sitting for a couple games, so he should be sent. All right, Dolphins at the Titans. This could be a lot of fun. The Dolphins have been playing really well. One of the hottest teams in the NFL.
Yep.
What they won 8 in a row or something like that. I don't have that here. 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Yeah.
And the Titans have been playing well lately. A little bit better. It seems like they kind of figured out how to get past the loss of the beast back there behind them. But I mean, the Titans, even though I'm kind of talking about, well, the Titans had played poorly, but they still kept winning. They're still leading their division.
6-2 at home.
6-2 at home, yeah. I mean, what do you think in this one?
This one here, I will.
Before you get there, are you a Tua guy?
No.
Me neither.
No, I'm not.
Are you a Tannehill guy?
No, neither one.
Yeah. But if I had to weigh those two together, I'm thinking Tannehill is still a couple of steps ahead of Tua.
I would agree 100%. But I'd go to Miami. I'd go Miami on this one because of their defense and just they're starting to spark some new players, some rookie players that are making some excitement over there, making some sparks, making things happen. I forget his name now. I know it's Wall, the receiver
for Miami.
Miami.
Oh yeah,
I forget his name now, but I mean, big for him again last week. A couple weeks in a row now he's been stepping up. They've had confidence in him. They're getting him the ball a lot more. But he's been a playmaker for him, and he's creating plays and getting himself in positions to where he's getting open downfield, and it's working out and paying off for him.
So. And once you get that connection between a quarterback and a wide receiver, I mean, that's huge. You don't have to be the best wide receiver, but if you got a good, if you got the timing down and he knows where you're going to be and he can rely on you and you understand the calls when it comes to hot reads and those kinds of things.
Waddle.
Oh, yeah, Waddle. Yeah, I heard that the other day, and I thought, I don't know if that's Tom Waddle's kid.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, Waddle's been stepping up huge for Miami. I mean, anytime quarterback can't find anything, I mean, he's able to check to this guy, and the guy's been putting himself in some great position to make plays happen. Got the late touchdown last week to put the game away. I mean, it was just he's been stepping up a few weeks in a row now. So you get that connection with Tua and Waddle, and they're finally creating a little bit of energy.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so you got Miami?
Miami.
Yeah, me too. Well, you got a lot of confidence. They're clicking at the right time. I think Tennessee is still trying to figure out who they are, which in week 17, it's ridiculous that you're still trying to figure out who you are, but that's what it is. All right, this could be the best game of the week. Hopefully it's the best game of the week. Chiefs at Bengals. Both of them have got it together now. They're hitting their stride. The Chiefs have won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
So even while we were saying, well, the Chiefs are struggling, they were still winning. They
Yeah.
just weren't winning the way we.
Yeah, we're used to seeing
they're
them win.
using their defense to win.
Yeah.
Now they seem like they got it going on both sides. They put it on Pittsburgh last week, 36-10. But Cincinnati put it on Baltimore, 41-21.
Yeah.
And Baltimore doesn't give up 40 points a game. So
never.
The fact that Burrow and those guys are got it together is kind of scary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, these are probably the two best teams in the AFC, don't you think?
I would agree. I
mean, we talked about the Patriots for a while being right there and how they were doing so well and never put it past Belichick. But I think the way everyone's playing right now, I would think that those are probably the two best. But this has to be the Chiefs, right?
I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
The spark that Cincinnati's had lately, I think that if they can keep it going, the way Mixon's been playing, just the way their defense has been stepping up. The key to beating the Chiefs is going to be shutting down Hill. And they've had some good, Cincinnati's got great pass coverage right now. They've had great pass coverage this year. Everything, the Chiefs haven't had a huge running game.
Yeah.
They've been depending on Hill. 2 weeks ago, Kelsey had the game of his life. So, if you can shut down some of that passing, let's be realistic. Mahomes hasn't been as mobile as he was years past. So you kind of take away a little bit of that threat with that guy. He's not as quick and he's not as quick to run as he used to be. So if you can shut down that passing game, which Cincinnati can, I think Cincinnati can come on top of this, and I think this could be the shocker of the week right here to take down the Chiefs.
Well, you make good points. My question is Mahomes not the person he was because that's by design or because they're taking it away? They have a spy or I'm not sure you can even spy Mahomes.
You can't really spy Mahomes. I don't know. I noticed that over, Mahomes' first couple of years in the league, the guy was quick to pull the ball down and take off and make plays.
Sure.
He's not as quick to do it anymore. I think he's been hit a few times, and I think
Tyson says everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Until they get punched in the face, yeah. And I think I like Mahomes. I mean, probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Like the guy, I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. But yeah, I think he's been punched in the mouth a couple times. And he's not as quick to tuck that ball and take off running the way he did. I mean, you remember the first couple of years the guy came in, he wasn't afraid to run between the hash marks.
Yeah.
Down the middle of the field. Yep. It wasn't just about, okay, I'm going to try to get to the sideline and get as many yards as I can. You're just not seeing that out of the guy anymore. So I think if you can stop Hill and stop Kelsey, which, yeah, that's a tough task. But Cincinnati's defense has been able to handle the pass. So I think if they can do that, they're going to take away a big part of that game. And I don't think Kansas City's defense is going to be able to stop.
Yeah, and that's my worry. They had that nice run where the defense was winning the games for them when the offense was trying to figure out. My thing is that as you're going through your breakdown of this, you just keep mentioning another weapon after another weapon after another weapon on the Kansas City side. And that's the thing. How do you take away Kelsey and Hilaire and
Hilaire hasn't been making anything happen.
He hasn't been, but he hasn't been because, in my opinion, they've either gone up against people that are good at stopping the run, like Baltimore, or they've gone up against people that are concentrated on shutting everything down, and it just takes him out of the game. So.
One of the things there, though, I think, being a coach, I look at this one. It seems like Kansas City's O-line they're a great pass O-line, but they're not a great run blocker.
Yeah. And Hilaire has to make his own hole.
Yeah, so it's either you got Williams and Hilaire that are struggling in the backfield trying to get positive yardage. And Mahomes has always had those downfield, the deep threats. I mean, let's be honest, Kelsey's probably the best tight end in the league.
No. His name is Darren Waller. I'm telling you.
Waller's missed too much here as of late. He's my guy. He's my guy, believe me, and he may be out this week again. But in my opinion, if I had to put it on there, yeah, Waller's the guy. But Kelsey right now is probably the best, the best active tight end in the league.
All right, there you go. I'll take
that. And trying to shut that guy down is a task. So if you can come out and you can control him and you can keep the deep threat of Hill, I mean, I don't think you have to worry about a big running game out of the Chiefs.
True.
And then again, we go back to the other side of the ball. I think that the Chiefs' defense is going to struggle. I don't know if they're going to be able to lock down the weapons that Kansas City has. Cincinnati has. Cincinnati, they've kind of their passing core. They're doing it by committee. They've got a lot of guys they're throwing the ball to. And then Mixon's just been a workhorse. I mean, the guy's just been absolutely killing it, and no one's really been able to stop him.
True. There's a pretty big jump when you go from Jonathan Taylor down to Mixon. Mixon's second in the league, but there's a big hole between those two.
Right.
So he's the best of the rest.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying about the defense, and I'm still going to go with Kansas City. I think that they're all, it used to be a good offense, or your best offense is a good defense.
Right.
Now I think your best offense is a good offense.
It's a good offense. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Kansas City. You're going to take Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals, yeah, and partially because they're my Raiders rivals, so I need them to go down. But on this one, I'm going to try not to go with my heart here. I think that if the Bengals come out and play the way they've been playing, they could upset the Chiefs.
I agree they could. This is a tough one. I for sure will be. That's Sunday at 1. We gotta tune in for that. Or that's the early game.
Early game.
All right. Broncos at the Chargers. Speaking of your division rivals, you got Broncos facing the Chargers. Chargers lost to the Texans last week.
Yeah.
It wasn't even close.
Right.
It was over early. Your Raiders took out the Broncos in a fun to watch game, that for sure. And you were there. Huh?
I was there that one.
That was a fun to watch game. But I just don't understand how I don't get who the Chargers are. And we've done this all year. One minute Justin Herbert is Joe Montana. The next minute he's Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
It's just I can't figure out who the Chargers are, and to get whooped by Houston, I would think that's got to take a lot of steam out of you.
Yeah.
Over there in a division that is still up for grabs.
Up for grabs. Yeah.
What do you think on this? Broncos at the Chargers.
Both of them are AFC rivals there, but I would love to see Denver pull this one off just because of the current standings right now. The Chargers taking a loss would be huge for the Raiders as long as the Raiders can win. But it's a tough one. I don't see Denver. I was at the game last week, and I saw what they were doing and what they weren't doing, and Denver's defense was doing a good job. It was a low-scoring game. They were able to stop the run for the most part. They were able to stop the deep pass. They were struggling with anything kind of underneath, which is what Herbert likes to throw. Yeah. Herbert likes to throw a lot of that underneath stuff. So if the Chargers come out and they're playing that short game passing, they could take this one and run away with it. The game with Denver was actually closer than it should have been. I mean, Carr threw that pick on the 10-yard line for the touchdown.
Oh, we'll get to your guy, Carr.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't think Denver has what it takes. I don't think they have the steam right now behind them to take down the Chargers. I would love to see it happen more than anything, but I would say the Chargers walk away with this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chargers are just too good to lose this game. I would have thought that they're too good to lose Houston too, but that might be one of those resets that you get late in the season.
Yeah. Give Houston a little bit of credit. Houston put up some points, in 2 weeks in a row. They Cooks have been really, really stepping up. They've put up some record numbers for the season 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. But it's got to be Chargers.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Rams at the Ravens. Suddenly that division between Arizona and LA, this has become kind of a lot of fun to watch. But Rams are 3-point favorites. They got Minnesota last week, 30-23. Baltimore lost, as we talked about before. They lost pretty significantly to Cincinnati. We don't know if Lamar Jackson is going to be back this week or not.
That's the key to this game.
Yeah. But he was practicing.
Key to this game.
It seems like he would be ready. It seems like it's time for them to make that push, or it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
What do you think?
In this one here, I'm gonna go with the Rams just because I think that right now they have that drive, they have the momentum. This game means a lot to them. I mean, it means a lot to both of these teams. I wasn't overly impressed with Lamar Jackson the last couple games that he did play. Mm-hmm. He did come back. I know they had a special practice for him on Tuesday to get him out there, and then he practiced Wednesday. I didn't look today to see if he practiced or if he was a full go or not. I would assume he is. Me personally, I think if this guy is at 80%, they're going to play him.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the game means too much for them to have him sitting. So if he's at 80% and he's ready to go, I would say that they're going to have him out there on the field and they're going to have him playing. I'm just not sure right now if they're going to have enough steam behind them to take down the Rams. And I think the Rams they're playing good football right now. I mean, they had a great game 2 weeks ago against the Cardinals we were at, and last week again another great game. So I mean, I just think that watching where they are right now and what they have behind them and what they're playing for, I don't think that Baltimore's defense is going to step up and do what they need to do to shut the Rams down.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to my same thoughts that I had on the Chiefs. I think that that's just too talented a team, the Rams, once they get rolling like that. And I understand what Baltimore's defense is, but Baltimore over the last 4 games has given up like 29 points a game.
Right.
So their defense has this image, but they're not living up to that image.
Right.
At least right now they're not. And when they give up 41 to Cincinnati, and I know that Joe Burrow and Lamar Chase and all them guys are who they are, but I'll take the connection between Stafford and Cooper Kupp over Burrow and so.
And then you've got Jefferson who's come into the game, and he's stepping up. Now, the one thing that the Rams are going to struggle with this week is Henderson is out.
Mm-hmm. And he's a beast.
And so you're going to have Sony Michel back there, and he's going to be your key back, which over the past couple of weeks they've been splitting time anyway. So
right, but Sony Michel is a different style of back.
He's a short distance little powerhouse. I mean, I used to laugh when he was with the Patriots. I said, "These guy's a little cannibal."
Yeah.
You put him in, and you're going to get 3 or 4 yards out of him per carry, and so I think over the past couple of weeks he's been getting it done for him anyway in the backfield. Henderson hasn't been doing anything huge, but again, no one's been able to stop Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So as long as you're going to let Cooper Kupp have free reign downfield and run around on you and get himself in open positions, I don't think you're going to win a ball game. And then when he is covered, Jefferson's been able to get open in the middle of the field and create good things. So
I was telling Matt Hanrahan last week, I was asking him, can you believe what Cooper Kupp would have been at this point if he'd had Matthew Stafford since he came into the league?
Yeah.
He'd have been a completely different person.
Well, it's funny. You look and you say, man, if you could build those dream teams, you put Kupp with a quarterback like Rodgers or Mahomes or someone like that, just someone who's had that consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine the career that this guy would have.
Yeah. As we're seeing now with Jared Goff. Jared Goff hindered him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Vikings at the Packers. This is a Sunday night game. The Packers have lost 3 this year. One of them was to the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's the last loss they had. It sounds like Dalvin Cook is going to be playing. The Packers have shown over the last couple of weeks they can't stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Chubb went for like 600 yards against them last week. I don't remember what it was, but it was too much. Their defense was holding them in games earlier in the season, keeping it when the offense wasn't clicking. Now the offense is clicking, and the defense seems to have kind of mailed it in the last few weeks. But they're starting to get some people back. They've been hit with COVID, but really like Mercedes Lewis, a couple of those guys are the ones that they're going to be without. Important pieces, but not the most important thing. Shouldn't hinder them. And it's a division game, and whenever there's a division game, it's always a toss-up. So what do you think?
I'm going to go Green Bay on this. I just think that, right now Rodgers has finally kind of hit that role again, and Devonte Adams has been stepping up for him. I don't know. Rodgers has kind of hit that stride again. Mm-hmm. And once he kind of finds that groove and hits that stride, especially when you get late into the season and these games all matter, it just seems like this guy, we made the joke earlier about I'm back with Cam popping open the Superman. Yeah. It's almost like Rodgers turns into that. You get to the end of the season and it just seems like once this guy's in playoff contention and the games are on the line, it's the difference of leadership. Someone, you've been here before, act like you've been here before, play like you've been here before. And that's what Rodgers brings to the table. I mean, he brings the leadership to the table. and he can step up and he can rally his troops around him and lead in a positive way. And you know, Devonte Adams, in my opinion, probably the best receiver in the league. You know, you've got guys out there. You've got Hill. You've got Jefferson. You've got all these different guys. You know, they're going to be going against Jefferson. But, you know, Adams is just a playmaker. I mean, the connection that him and Rodgers have, it's amazing to me. Sometimes I watch it, and it's Rodgers isn't even looking at him. He's completely looking to the opposite side of the field, and he can turn and throw, and he just knows that Adams is going to be where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be, and the guy's just a playmaker.
And he doesn't drop the ball. I saw something the other day that said in the last, 80 pass attempts to him, over 20 yards, he has 0 drops.
0 drops.
So
one of the things I like about him too is his field awareness. There's a lot of times I've watched Adams when he knows it's 3rd down and he's got to get a 1st down. He'll go to where he needs to set up, get the 1st down, and not try to extend the play to where
running backwards.
Yeah, running backwards or taking a chance on the ball getting punched out or a fumble. He'll get to the 1st down. He's got faith in his quarterback and his O-line and his running backs that if I get the 1st down, you know, we're going to come back out and do what we need to over the next 3 downs.
The thing that and I agree with everything you said. One of the caveats is that it's supposed to be 2 degrees. Why they would put a Sunday night game in Green Bay this time of year, I don't know. It's kind of cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah.
But and I understand Minnesota's in the north, but they play inside. So I think that might be a little bit difficult. But I just year after year, Aaron Rodgers did not lose in December.
No.
I don't care what the temperature and the snow and the rain and the wind and whatever it is, he doesn't lose in December.
Well,
I'm really looking forward to watching.
Look at last year, the Hail Marys. You know, Rodgers came up 2 weeks in a row with Hail Marys, and his guys went up and got the ball.
Yep.
Now I think this could be the game of the week. I mean, it could be a true action-packed game. I like the fact that it's going to be a nice cold night. I like those games. I like playing in them. I know
hitting in that because you're running the ball for the most part, and there's hitting.
Yep. And the ball comes out.
Yep.
You know, guys' hands are numb, and the ball comes out. So it could be an action-packed game. But yeah, I'd stick with it. I'd say Green Bay on this one by 6.
I think the Packers win it as well. All right, Browns at the Steelers. Browns been playing well lately. Steelers, not so much.
No.
Steelers can't stop the run. Browns put, I think I want to say Chubb had like 140 or 150 or something against the Packers last week. Packers could not stop them. To me, this looks like a pretty easy Browns win.
Yeah, I would agree.
If they turn it out and just keep taking it
and
to.
The Steelers still aren't healthy. I mean, Steelers still have guys that aren't back to 100%, and you know, Roethlisberger, he's a 50-50 quarterback now. You don't know which one's going to show up to the game.
Yeah, for sure. He can find his guys, and then he will find your guys.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an ugly one. All right, here you go. Raiders at the Colts. Colts have been playing well. Raiders.
Not so well, but able to hang on. Well,
right.
That wasn't even playing well last week. I was at the game at right down there, right down on the field, and it wasn't a beautiful game by any means. I mean, we did just enough to hang on. You know, we had the touchdown pass. So we get the ball, and we're down on the 10-yard line, and on 2nd down. It was supposed to be a little swing pass to Jacobs, and the defensive end is just standing there, puts his hand up, and intercepts the ball and takes it in. So, you know, when you're playing sloppy, and it was a very sloppy pass that was thrown, and you play that way, I mean, you can't expect good things to come out of it. In my opinion, the Raiders defense did just enough to hold on and win this game because we weren't putting up any real big points.
What is going on with Derek Carr? I mean, the guy's got a strong arm. Is it just that the weapons are gone now, and he doesn't have the people he needs?
You know, I think we've lost a lot of players. I think the team's lost a lot of players, and it's the people that he had the bonds with, that he had the connections with, are gone and out the door, and he's trying to make new things happen. I mean, you put him in a 2-minute drill, and he's probably the best quarterback in the league. You put him out there and you would say, okay, we're at 2 minutes and let's do that fourth quarter comeback, and he's phenomenal. Well, maybe coach needs to start running the 2-minute drill for the whole game.
The game. Yeah.
But I mean, him and Renfro constantly hooking up. We haven't had Waller for a couple of weeks now, so that's been brutal for us. And right now, Waller just came back. He was ready to play, and they just put him on the COVID list. So we don't know if he's going to be playing this week or not. Right now, it doesn't look like he'll be there, which is going to be devastating again. Especially going against the Indianapolis team, who's been making strides over the past couple of weeks. And, let's be realistic. You're going up against probably the best running back in the league, Jonathan Taylor. Raiders defense has been stepping up and shutting down the run. Their problem is that, same thing is we can't stop the pass within 15 yards of the line of scrimmage. That short pass underneath is where we absolutely struggle, and we don't have the coverage. We've lost a couple of key players on defense now due to injury and that aren't going to be here, out for the season. So it's just one of those things right now that, the Raiders team is a very broken team. Everything we've had, and we can make the excuses, and I'm not trying to make excuses for the team, but we've had just issue after issue from Gruden, all the way down to losing everybody.
Number one picks from last year.
Yeah, losing everybody, and then you got Renfro, who's been the consistent for us. Jacobs has been able to hang on and put some games together, and now here again this week. Now we lose Madden. Madden passes away, and I know that's had a little bit of an impact on the team. I mean that's a hard one to hold. So it's just we've been hit with disaster after disaster, and the Carr's been able to be enough of a leader to keep the team on the field and keep positive things happening. I mean, he's still got us in that hunt for that playoff spot. A lot of things are going to have to happen, but the key thing is we've got to win.
Well, good news for you. It looks like Carson Wentz is not going to be available. He's in COVID protocols. So,
correct.
When you're talking about that passing game, the bad news is that you have Jonathan Taylor, who's not just a stud running back, like you said, probably right now of everyone that's active, the best running back in football. But
I noticed you said everyone that's active.
He's also a swing pass guy.
He is.
He is. So he's part of that short passing game. I think that's going to be a problem. But not having Carson Wentz down there, finding their guys, I think is going to help a lot. I think it's going to be a good close game. The Colts were able to beat Arizona last week, but Arizona isn't who they have been the first 12 weeks.
No, they've been beaten and battered.
So I think to me it all comes down to one person. Derek Carr. If Derek Carr plays the way that he's talented enough and he's smart enough and he's athletic and all the other things. If he plays the way that he is capable of playing and the way he should be playing, I think the Raiders win this game fairly well.
I agree. But he's got to come out and he's got to be the leader. I think the Raiders need to speed up the tempo. I think that there's been too much changing the plays at the line. We've had a couple of delayed games, burnt some timeouts. I think they need to speed up the tempo of the play. When they do, they stay in control. It's been proven time and time again that when they run their 2-minute drill or their hurry-up offense, they're more productive. Renfro does his job. Jacobs is doing his job. We've got Jalen Richard back in there doing his. So we got a lot of keys that if everyone does their thing. Jackson's been stepping up and making plays. Zay Jones last week had a good game. So if we can use all the keys and spread that field, and then Moreau stepping in at the tight end spot, I mean he's done a phenomenal job as well. But you're right, it comes down to Carr. If Carr is going to be the leader that he can be and go out there and dominate on the field and dictate the speed of the game, then I see the Raiders walking away with the win. I don't think it's going to be a crazy game blowout. I would love to see that, but I would say Raiders by 3.
Right, so you're predicting that Carr is going to be the leader out there.
I don't think he has a choice anymore.
Okay, I think it's time for him too. So I'm going to agree. I think the Raiders win this, a nice close game, and but hopefully, the Colts don't get on a roll and force him to do some craziness out there, because he will.
Oh, yeah.
He's shown that, that's for sure. All right, speaking of craziness, you have the Cardinals at the Cowboys. You have like the number 2 and number 4 team in the NFC right now. The Cowboys are 2 and Cardinals are 4. They're kind of heading in opposite directions.
Yep.
We know the Cowboys put it all over Washington last week. They looked like a machine. And then you have the Cardinals who fell to the Colts last week. Not a huge loss because the Colts are a good team. It's not like they lost to the Lions or the Texans or somebody, but or the Bears.
Yeah.
Take a shot at the Bears because they're in our division.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
This one I think a lot of it's going to come down to is cornerback. If Connor's back and he's healthy and he's playing, I'd say Cardinals walk with this one. Dallas has not been able to prove that they can stop a good running back. I think the Cardinals, if they can get back on clicking on all cylinders, I think that the Cardinals come in and win this one. Dallas has not been overly impressive all season long. Yeah, they beat Washington, but who is Washington? Washington can't really do anything consistently. The Cardinals have proven themselves. They've had a bad run here the past few weeks since the Rams and everything have gotten them. But I would put this one back on. It's going to be. It's always a team effort, but it's going to be some individual players. And if you have Connor back in the lineup, which he's supposed to be, he's been practicing. If Connor's back in, then I would say the Cardinals end up getting this one. If Connor's not there, then I would be saying it's going to take. Can the offenses run with each other? I think both of them, neither one of them have a phenomenal defense, but are Cardinals going to be able to hold up and run with the Cowboys' offensive attack?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. To me, I think that if the Cardinals are clicking on all cylinders again and Connor's back, and that gives you another weapon with all the ones they already have. Kyler Murray, the last few weeks, to me, it's been his decision making.
Right.
I know Matt Hanrahan talked a little bit last week, and he's a Cardinals fan. He talked a little bit about him trying to look up and over, and because he's shorter stature quarterback, trying to get over the line and making some questionable throws. We saw that little out pass that was wide open for a touchdown, and he bounced it at like the 3-yard line. And he thinks that that's part of it, is that he's having a hard time seeing his receivers downfield suddenly. I really hope that what the Cardinals do is look at, we need to get him out and use his athleticism, get him out of the pocket, find his receivers, or take off, or whatever he needs to do. I think they need to. I really think they need to tweak that offense. Kingsbury's play calling sometimes just baffles me.
Yeah.
I don't get what's going on.
Well, the other thing too is Cardinals run a lot of times they're running a spread offense where a lot of these passes are supposed to be timing patterns. So Murray shouldn't even have to look. If you got the faith and you got the confidence in your receivers, a lot of these things are timing patterns to where it's a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop, and you're letting the ball go, and you're counting on that receiver to be where he's supposed to be. So yeah, if with what Matt was saying last week, if Murray's taking the time to reshuffle and look over the line, then he probably doesn't have that confidence downfield that his guys are supposed to be where they're supposed to be. Yeah. When you're running that spread offense, you're counting on your guys to be where they need to be, and a lot of this stuff is timing patterns.
And he's also doing the same thing that we talked about with Lamar Jackson. He's not, he used to be a first option guy is covered, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And he's not doing that. He's spending a little bit more time. He's getting hit. He's getting passes batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I think that if they take a look at it, like you said, if the Cardinals are able to get their stuff together, that the Cardinals can win this game.
Correct. I agree. 100%. But I think one of the keys is, and we don't know, is Connor back.
All right, so if Connor's back, it's Cardinals. If he's not,
I'm going to put it on Dallas.
All right, sounds good to me. All right, rapid fire. You ready?
Yep.
Buccaneers at the Jets.
Well, if Brady has a Surface Pro that he's going to be able to look at this week and see what's going on, then he probably wins. But he might need to, I don't know, did you see the NFL find him?
Did they?
Yeah, they charged him for the Surface Pro, and I think they fined him like $10,000 for breaking the thing.
I didn't see that.
On TV. Pretty funny.
I saw that, and it reminded me of a couple years ago. Aaron Rodgers did the exact same thing. Looked at it and threw it down on the ground. I don't think there was a fine there.
No, he's. If you saw Brady completely smashed it, held it up in the air. You could see the screen broken, and then he threw it. So he smashed it before he threw it.
All right, so that was excessive.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the surface pro, I guess, or personal foul. But yeah, I would say I don't think the Jets have a chance in this one. I would say Buccaneers, and it looks like they're favored by 13 on here. I would say you're probably looking. That's probably about right, actually.
You think so? I'm gonna, when I leave here, I'm gonna go put money on the Buccaneers. If I'm giving up 13 points, 13.5 is what I've got.
Yeah.
I'll give up 13.5. I think they put it all over the Jets.
No, yeah.
Tom is angry. Jags at the Patriots. Patriots are bigger number, 15.5 points.
Yeah.
Speaking of somebody who's upset, they got demolished by Buffalo last week.
Yeah.
Patriots put it on Jacksonville, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Giants at the Bears. Two teams playing for nothing.
Yeah.
The two worst scoring offenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
I would be a 3-0 game.
I would give this one to the Bears based strictly on Montgomery.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep, I agree. Bears. Falcons at the Bills.
I think the Bills walk away with this one. Atlanta has showed sparks at moments, but it's usually against teams that aren't contenders. Buffalo, I think, right now Allen is just absolutely on fire. The guy can't do any wrong. He had one hiccup a few weeks ago, and since then he's put himself back on track. And I think this is a walk away for the Bills.
Yeah, and it was a hiccup in a crappy weather game where he wasn't allowed to throw it. It's going to be in Buffalo. It's probably going to be cold and nasty, but I think he wins that.
And you look at Buffalo and where they're at right now, and I mean they're almost in a position right now where they can afford to start sitting some players. Yep.
Texans at the Niners.
Yeah, this is
another pasting.
I don't know. I mean, this one here, it depends. Which Houston team shows up.
Yeah.
Which Houston team shows up.
And which Niners team shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Niners have had some consistency, and Houston's been very inconsistent. But when they win, they're winning big. I mean, they're beating teams they're not supposed to be beating. So this one here could be an interesting one. I mean, you look at it and you would say, yeah, the Niners with Ayuk and Garoppolo, I mean, they should win this one. But if Cook shows up and he's playing the way he's been playing and getting himself open downfield and they're connecting, anything could happen.
Yeah, I think Davis Mills has been looking good. I think that while he's been looking good, I think the Niners are just too good.
I don't think it's going to be 15 though.
I don't think it will be either.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Lions at the Seahawks. Another two teams that are not playing for anything.
No.
Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites. I think the Seahawks win, but I'm not interested in watching the
Just for sake of argument, I'll take Detroit. I think Detroit's going to come back with another upset this week.
Yeah.
They pulled off a couple of games this year.
I've watched that a lot in the past where the Lions were out of it, and at the end of the year, for some reason, they just keep beating people to get a worse draft choice.
Yeah.
And to knock people out of the playoffs.
And the big key with Seattle, and I think the inconsistency is, is Lockett back and is he healthy? And if Lockett's back, they win games. If Lockett's not there, it seems like their whole offense is built around Lockett saving them.
They need him to stretch the field.
Deep ball, yeah. And Metcalf can't do it on his own. And when you got Lockett and Metcalf in the game, they spread the defense. If you only got one of them, every defense knows lockdown on the one receiver that's here, and Lockett being out for a couple weeks, they've locked Metcalf down, and he hasn't been able to do anything.
We'll double Metcalf, and we'll keep everybody in the box to take care of it.
And they don't really have a running back.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, thank you.
Good job. We are going to, I guess, see you next year.
Absolutely, yeah, next year.
Thank you to Anderson
Happy
Ford.
New Year.
Thank you to Anderson Ford for the sponsorship, and we will see you guys. Thanks for stopping in the huddle.